I'm Tom Carroll, and this is my Freedom Foilboard Pro model, the TC Pro model. And woo, go have a feel. Get the mahi-mahi going.
Hey guys, Chris here with Freedom Foilboards. I'm beyond stoked to be standing next to one of my all-time heroes, surf legend, and now I think a friend,
Yeah.
Tom Carroll.
No thinking.
Such an awesome individual,
Yeah.
human being, and we are just so stoked to have been working with you personally for the last few years now, 2.5 years, and it's been an honor and a privilege, buddy.
Absolute honour.
Yeah, I remember getting a DM on Instagram. We started talking, and it was just so stoked to get you aboard, and here we are a couple of years later, and now we're standing here with a couple of your own personal Freedom Foilboard Tom Carroll Pro Model boards that we're beyond stoked to release to the public for you guys. Tom and I have been working on these extensively for the past almost maybe a year now, and we've gone through a few different variants, and we have two different sizes here. We have a more of like a smaller board and a little bit of a bigger board. And I'm actually gonna let Tom talk a little bit about his board sizes and kind of what he was looking to get out of, what you were looking to get out of your boards when we started working together.
So what I was looking for was when I really like to tow and prone. And I like to sort of keep it to one board if I can. So I was sort of aiming towards something that was going to be efficient for me, going to be low leaderage, so I could tow foil it easily, bring it out behind the jet ski, and then just feeling light and free. And the same feeling going for prone, but actually able to paddle in and out of the liner, which was really important to be able to not just pump around, but sort of get myself around paddling in and be efficient. So that's where we sort of were kind of moving towards the whole time. Which now's the result here. I like to use a 4.0. I'm a little guy, so I can use, and I'm a pretty good paddler for my size, so I can do with 22 litres. So that's my kind of go-to board. Very small, it's way smaller than my normal surfboard.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a surfboard around about the 26 litre, so less leverage, but the foil always has that little bit of pop.
Tom, coming from your surf background, obviously extensive surf background, do you find that your surfboard leaderage correlates to your foilboard leaderage? Is there like a correlation to those two, or is it totally different?
It's totally different. It's for me, you've got a foil underneath your board while you're paddling, and it just creates lift, so I can use less leaderage, just dropping the swing weight. So I'm just feeling back into the foil through the board much easier. So anything I do with my upper body, my lower body, and how I put my style into the foiling, it translates straight out of the foil through the board and out of my body back to the foil.
Yeah.
So I can feel the sensitivity of the actual wing, the foil. So what I like about this design is that what I wanted to bring in, which is different than a lot of boards, this has got a little bit of curve to it. So it actually sort of allows me, while I'm towing to come up out of the toe, up onto the foil. And actually when I'm going along on choppy, particularly bumpy situations where I want to lay into the turn, I can really sort of just, even if it touches the water, it's going to brush out and brush me into the turn.
Yeah.
It's not going to actually sort of cut me back in if it's too flat and straight.
Nice.
That's what I've found with this design's worked really well for me.
Yeah, a lot of nose rocker, progressive nose rocker.
Yeah.
What I've noticed when I've done boards with lots of nose rocker is that as long as it's progressive and doesn't just come abrupt, it actually flows and paddles nicely still.
Yeah.
Which is kind of counterintuitive to what you would think, but it's actually really helpful and still paddles really well.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens also is that when you're paddling for a wave, that really nice progressive curve, the water likes that progressive curve as we're even paddling for the wave, so it kind of like just pushes you up as you're paddling. I mean, I can paddle into a wave of a 22 litre board. The foil's doing a lot of the work. As soon as that foil does the work, you're out.
Right.
So that scoops you into those little kind of little foam chip ends, boom, up and going. Yeah. And I got less board. I've also got we worked in a concave into the deck, so we feel like when we're riding, we're a little bit closer to the foil.
More locked in.
More locked in, and there's a slight camber in the pressure in the foot. So much comes out of the foot and the foil. I mean, it does in surfing, but for me, and I've done a lot of design work with, surfboards in the past, having scoops out of deck and so on, dome decks and so on. But with a foil, for me, it feels really nice to be right in the board. Well, we've also got the feature, and you can see it. This is got a subtle displacement hull up front in the nose too, which just urges it to displace the water. Just because water loves to travel in a spiral, it will just hit this and move in which way it loves to move. It doesn't like going over flat surfaces, sort of ripples across them, but into a spiral, it just encourages the spiral action of water.
Nice.
Yeah. Like for me, it's about getting the edges out of the way. So, and not trying to grab water.
Yeah.
Really allowing the water to release, and the board, if it needs to touch, it's going to be such a soft touch with the water, and then the water can sort of splay off either edge, so it's not like a really soft edge. There's some edge, but it's just toned right back. Thank you, Chris, for bringing me up to Hood River.
Yeah.
I mean, Hood River and the whole Columbia Gorge deal, like I'd only been told stories by, my sensei, which was Dave Kalama, and on the foil and the sup, and he sort of was telling me all about this, but coming here to get to whip into a couple of bumps with you has been so good, and testing this puppy, which has been really fun.
It's been an honor, buddy. It's so fun to just experience all that you have to offer life and people around you, and just it's fun to just see you interact with people who recognize you as their hero too. And so it's been, I kind of feel like a rock star when I'm rolling around with Tom, just being next to you. It's super fun. And we're just equally honored to be with you, buddy.